All right, New Orleans, welcome to the Jack Clegg Show on this historic day. It is a historic day, August 15th, 2025. All right, why is it historic? Well, the first female mayor of New Orleans in almost 300 years. Now, we've had mayors even before the city was part of America. Even before Louisiana became a state, we had a city, we had mayor, we had people in charge. The first woman was Mayor Cantrell. Why is today historic? Because she was indicted today. We're going to talk about that on the show. And what it was and what it wasn't. I have a copy. I received it from fellow lawyers, U.S. Attorney's Office. We have this, and we're going to talk about it. 48 pages long. Haven't been able to read every page of it, but I got a sense of it, and I know what it is, and I know what it isn't. So that's part of our story. Part of our story is what's going on in California. There's so much in the news about it, and I decided rather than have the news tell us what it was, we should have somebody with common sense, articulation, and experience tell us a little bit about it. Then we're going to talk about pedophiles in Louisiana and the lawsuit, which was filed by our Attorney General here in Louisiana against a gaming platform, a company that makes games for children online. Sadly, animals have gotten in there. When I say animals, I mean pedophiles, have gotten in, and it's required our Attorney General to file a lawsuit to stop what's happening. That's just, it's, I debated whether I was going to cover it, but you can't cover up this stuff. You can't let it happen. We can't let it happen. So we have some details on that. And several other stories breaking down, but there's so much going on today. We're going to start off the show with a discussion with our buddy from California, Chris Papajohn. Chris, how are you, buddy?
Good. How are you, Jack?
I'm doing well. As I said, it's a very, very historic day here in New Orleans. Our mayor, who's been, she's been critical.
What's she being indicted for?
Well, there are so many options that the U.S. attorney could take, and there've been, because what happened was really interesting. They announced that the indictment came out today without telling people what the indictment was. So for most of the morning and early afternoon, the local press, NOLA.com, which did a really good job, set forth a timeline of all of the alleged misconduct that she's been involved in. And it went back all the way to, I don't know if you remember, before I go, Chris Papajohn is somebody who's very familiar with Louisiana because he's worked here. Chris, tell the audience what your job has been in Louisiana for the last decade.
Well, I'm a Marine coordinator. I come out there and work on movies and television shows that have water work.
Right.
And come out for different shows, and and play golf.
And you play golf too, and he's a darn good golfer also.
There, yeah.
But when you say a Marine advisor, supervisor,
I coordinate the Marine work, the water work, not Marine like military.
Right. So our maritime or maritime work, if you do a movie in New Orleans, I don't know how you can, particularly Southeast Louisiana where we are, I don't know how you can do it without having maritime vessels or shots taken from vessels or shots taken from the shore of vessels. Most of them have that, don't they?
Yes. Yeah.
And that's what you, so you've been here, and we've known each other for I don't know how many years, 8, 7, 8, 9 years, I don't know.
Decades, maybe.
And when you're not, and you're on scene for not only Louisiana movies, but where else have you been involved as the Marine coordinator?
Oh, all over the world. I've been in Thailand, the Philippines, Mexico.
You were just recently
US.
in the Philippines earlier this spring, weren't you?
Correct, yeah.
And didn't you do work some in Georgia as well?
A little bit. I've done a little bit in Georgia. There's a couple people that do what I do there.
Okay.
And there's one guy in New Orleans, but he actually gives me some work when he's too busy to handle it.
Sure.
And he's on his way out, not on his way in. So.
Okay. And essentially, so those in the audience may know, okay, you're doing a movie, you got to have vessels. Now, the production company doesn't buy a vessel. That would be way too expensive. So what you'll do is lease a vessel, which in the maritime field, the language is charter. And you will charter a vessel so you can use it for the film. And then you'll do some kind of, not all the time, but sometimes you'll have to modify the vessel somewhat. Is that pretty much it?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate, yeah.
Okay. And so when you're not doing that, you live in California, which exposes you some of the wildest politics in the world.
Well, I like to call it the People's Republic of California myself.
Okay. So that's, now everybody knows who you are and that you work for a living, you have a skill, a profession. You are at times around celebrities, so there's that aspect of it as well.
Yeah.
And but you also have, and I'll attest to this, a very keen insight on human nature and politics. So with that background, let's go into what you called for today.
I just called to listen to your show, but I was curious, what would you think, where would we be right now if Kamala had won the election, not Trump?
Oh my gosh. What a great question that is. That is a terrific question. I don't remember, and let me say this. I followed the campaigns, and I tried to hear any type of plan that Kamala had. Now, I didn't have to wait very long for Trump. I mean, he immediately, we're going to close the border. We're going to do this. 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 And these were all things that required effort. They don't just happen. You don't just click your fingers and all of a sudden it's done. Okay. And I'm trying not to be overly critical of the poor lady. I'm talking about Miss Harris. But
yeah.
I'll ask you, because honestly, what plan to do anything did she have that you remember hearing?
Nothing.
I'm with you.
She didn't. I don't remember her talking about anything except bashing Trump, which is
well,
it scares me a little bit that the Democratic Party has no substance, because I see what happens in California where we have one party rule, which has been the Democratic Party.
Right.
And it's just turned the state upside down. And I don't think one party rule is good. You have to have some opposition, but your opposition has to have some substance. The Democrats are going away, and that scares me.
Well, I'm with you. Chris, we have to take a break because we are a financial juggernaut here. We have to make money with commercials. And so we're going to take a break. Can you hold on during the commercial?
Sure.
All right, folks, it's Jack Clegg Show. We'll be back in a few moments.
Looking for the perfect personalized gift for your friends and loved ones? Then look no further than Crow and Crescent. Crow and Crescent provides customizable handmade gifts, tumbler cups, and much more. All items are handmade with care and can be gift wrapped with personalized messages. For more information, you can find us at crowandcrescent.com and on Instagram. Crow and Crescent, let us show you the right gift for any occasion.
Hi, this is Susan Bernicker bringing you a new show, Health Connections, every Wednesday afternoon at 5 p.m. Doctors, researchers, authors, and more. Join me Wednesdays at 5 o'clock right here on WGSO 990 AM.
Join me, Mitch Gibbs, in our 11th season as host of Breakfast with the Bayou Bengals every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 live at Mahoney's Po' Boys in New Orleans.
Now, everything old is new again. America's entertainment pop culture talk show.
If you relate to these clips playing in the background, there you go. You will enjoy Everything Old is New Again right here on WGSO. Hi, this is Douglas Viviani of Everything Old is New Again. Join us for the fun every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on WGSO.
Feel the passion.
You have to turn the energy back up on another level.
On game day.
He's got it and he breaks a tackle.
We're all raging Cajuns.
Intercepted. 15-10. 5 touchdown Louisiana.
Join us Saturday, August 30th. Louisiana kicks off its season against Rice. Our coverage begins at 6 on your home for Louisiana football.
Only on the community voice of the Crescent City, WGSO 990 AM.
Broadcasting from deep within the Louisiana Purchase, beneath spacious skies, overlooking the fruited plain, and smack dab in the land of the free. The American Ground Radio Program with Louis R. Abalone and Stephen Parr, where freedom grows. Listen each weeknight from 7 to 9 p.m. with Louis R. Abalone and Stephen Parr. Here on WGSO 990 AM.
Hey, Mimi, we love Wednesdays, but we're moving to a new time.
Listen to He Said, She Said, Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
Right here on WGSO.
Hey, folks, this is Jeff Cruere. At WGSO 990, we're proud to be your community voice right here in New Orleans, bringing you local talk, real news, and the issues that matter most. But we can't do it without you. WGSO is a nonprofit, listener-supported station. Your donation helps keep independent radio alive and thriving. Go to WGSO.com and click donate. Every dollar counts. Thank you for standing with us and for supporting New Orleans radio. It speaks for you.
All right, New Orleans, welcome back to the Jack Clegg Show. I need to tell you what you're listening to. You're listening to WGSO 990 AM, the Jack Clegg Show. Now, if you want to hear the audio podcast sometime later, you can go to WGSO.com, and they have a menu, and you hit podcast, and then they have who all has podcasts. Jack Clegg does. Hit that, and you can hear the audio. If you want to see what's going on here, you can listen. You can actually go to your computer, your laptop, or your phone and type in YouTube, and then YouTube comes up. All right. Then you may even have YouTube as an app already. Hit it. When YouTube comes up, there's a little circle with a line through it that says search, and you type in Jack Clegg Show. Now all of a sudden, there I am. Hey, how you doing? So it's that easy. Okay, let's get back to Chris from California. Chris, we were talking about California and your former Attorney General.
Yeah.
Attorney General Harris, right?
Crazy, huh?
She was. It is crazy. Yeah. She was first, wasn't she the district attorney for San Francisco, right? Yeah. And after running that town into the ground, she became the Attorney General for the state of California. Okay. And we were talking about, all right, you're running for president of the United States. Okay? Big deal. Okay. Now, they can have as many people as they want run for president of the United States. Some make good candidates, some don't. They have the Republican Party and the Democratic Party have their primaries, and they knock each other out. But answer this for me: in your worldwide travels and experience, and you're watching politics develop in every different country and city and state and in America. Okay, if you're running for office and you don't have a plan that you can write down on an index card, small little index card, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 things I want to accomplish. How can you expect to win?
You can.
I'm 100%. So, and you can't write the things that you've actually been involved in. What do you mean, Jack? What kind of things? Okay. Number 1, I'm guessing what's on her index card. Trump is a felon. Right? That's the plan. Tell everybody and remind everybody Trump's a felon for the charges that they brought against him and, tried to destroy him. That kind of didn't work, did it?
No. And then they tried to shoot him. And that
well, they got his ear. They got some part of him, but they didn't.
Well, they did shoot him. Let me rephrase that. They
yes.
They did.
He got shot. And I mean, this is kind of a bizarre case. Okay. And it reminds me of Kennedy too. Okay. We're supposed to be, we've got AI, we've got computers, we've got everything. Okay. And just like Kennedy's assassination, we don't know much about this one. I mean, it's like, okay, I would expect this. Am I asking too much? All right. We know it was a young man. I don't know how old he was. He was out of high school. Okay. And he had 2 parents, right?
Yeah.
A mom and a dad. All right. Now, how much money do the major networks pay to interview people? Lots of money.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen an interview with either of the parents of this boy?
No. But I mean, if you get to the major networks in that event, it does surprise me that was the only Trump rally that CNN covered live.
That is true. That's why I love you, Chris. That is absolutely spot on. It was covered live. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. What made them cover that one? I mean, I have mixed emotions about, the FBI going after some of the things they're going after, like the Russian collusion and all that.
Sure.
But then I also think we have to do it so it doesn't happen again.
Well, exactly. And later in the show, and I'm going to talk in detail about the indictment involving our former mayor. I'm sorry, she's still the mayor. She's going to be the mayor until January, I think, unless something happens. But and individually, the little things that they're going after her for aren't so big. However, when you think about what could have occurred as a result of what she did, then it becomes real big. So it's like, most of the country. Now, I don't want to. I mean, this is kind of bad, but imagine if that young man had been successful in Pennsylvania. What would have happened? What would have happened? He would have. I think Kamala would have been our president, and we'd be sitting here today, wondering, wait a minute, I just heard her last night talk for 30 minutes. I have no idea what she said.
Right.
Okay. You can hear Trump.
I mean,
And Trump will talk about how great he is. Okay. He's kind of an egotistical guy. All right, fine. And, he'll throw out these terms like what we're doing, mankind has never seen before. All right, come on. Just
sure.
But he does stuff, and the stuff works. And what he does is what most Americans want. Okay, all of us are in the dark about how bad that border was. Okay? When we had Haitians and others coming across at one particular time, and we had some of our ICE agents and troopers on the border on horseback. Do you remember what they did to those guys?
I do not. No.
Okay, these were guys on horseback, and they were using the reins to move the horses around, kind of like, to tap them on the right so the horse goes to the left, tap them on the left so the horse goes to the right, et cetera, et cetera. Well, all of a sudden, the politicians came forward. Did you see them whipping the Haitians? They weren't hitting any Haitians at all. You remember that?
Right.
I mean, it was everything they could do to create something that wasn't true. And we saw that.
Sure.
Sorry, we got to take another break, I'm being told. We're going to come back. We want to hit one final thing about what's going on in California. I want to know what's going on in Los Angeles. Can you talk about that when we come back?
Sure.
All righty. Back in a second with the Jack Clegg Show.
The Bone-In Law Firm is a family-operated law firm located at 4224 Canal Street in the heart of Mid-City, effectively serving clients since its inception in 1983. Christian Bone-In and the Bone-In Law Firm practice in the areas of personal injury, including automobile accidents, wrongful death cases, and slip and fall, as well as criminal defense law. Call them today for an appointment at 504-586-0064 or email them today at admin@boneinlawfirm.com to receive your free consultation and evaluation of your case.
NHL star Matt Martin for American Humane.
I've had my fair share of bruises and injuries, but for many who put their lives on the line every day, it's not always the injuries you can see that hurt the most. Every single day, 184 veterans are diagnosed with post-traumatic stress. When medications and therapy don't help, professionally trained service dogs can. American Humane has created a free guide to help veterans obtain these life-saving animals. For help, please go to AmericanHumane.org.
Big Easy Pet Shop and Rescue is a nonprofit volunteer-run rescue. We provide adoption services and care for homeless animals across the New Orleans metro area. We also offer pet supplies and grooming services at our downtown and Marigny locations. The shops are located at 839 Spain Street and 513 Dumaine Street and are open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. weekdays and noon to 6 on Saturdays, noon to 5 on Sundays. We can be found on the web at BigEasyPetShop.com. Support local animals in need by shopping and adopting with Big Easy Animal Rescue.
Hey, do you ever wonder who really listens to talk radio? Or even, who is this new Lisa and why are we going live with her? And what does it mean to be unscripted? Hey guys, my name is Lisa Leonardi and I am the new talk show host of Live with Lisa Unscripted. My show is about living our unique NOLA life with a touch of inappropriateness and a ton of side-splitting laughs to get you home every Monday at 4 p.m. here on WGSO 990 AM.
A powerful threat calls for a greater response.
When there's a battle, bring strength.
When there's a problem, seek answers.
When there is Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Colleen Crane. A federal grand jury has indicted New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell on federal corruption charges.
The indictment focuses on the alleged affair between Cantrell and former New Orleans police officer Jeffrey Vappy. Prosecutors allege Cantrell and Vappy used out-of-state and international trips to maximize their ability to continue their personal relationship and spend time together. Vappy was Cantrell's bodyguard, but the U.S. Attorney's Office says it was not necessary for Vappy to travel with Cantrell, and that cost taxpayers $70,000. Cantrell is the first city New Orleans mayor to be indicted. I'm Jeff Palermo.
A 3-judge panel from the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals agrees with a district judge in Baton Rouge that the state's legislative district map for the House and Senate violate the Voting Rights Act because it dilutes black votes. Political analyst Scott Hughes says the issue isn't going to be resolved until the U.S. Supreme Court rules.
It ties to the exact same argument of the Cleo Fields congressional seat, and that argument is already at the U.S. Supreme Court.
LRN.
No more mold, no more damage, no more outdated old bathroom, no more slipping and hurting, no more stress. Make your ordinary bathroom extraordinary for only $99 per month. New shower, new door, new tub, new wall, new anti-slip technology. Be stress-free. Call 800-770-5322. BCI Bath and Shower is made in America for the highest quality. Ask about our military and senior discounts. Your dream bathroom in as little as 1 day. First 50 callers save $1,500 on a never clear glass treated door. Call now for free premium color upgrades. 800-770-5322. Call BCI Bath and Shower, the leader in bathroom remodeling. Be smart, safe, and stay a step ahead of inflation with our interest-free financing options. Call 800-770-5322. Love your bathroom with free upgrades. Call 800-770-5322. That's 800-770-5322.
Are you looking for the perfect personalized gift for your friends and loved ones? Then look no further than Crow and Crescent. Crow and Crescent provides customizable handmade gifts, tumbler cups, and much more. All items are handmade with care and can be gift wrapped with personalized messages. For more information, you can find us at crowandcrescent.com and on Instagram. Crow and Crescent, let us show you the right gift for any occasion.
Tired of waiting for dinner? Meet Brava, the revolutionary countertop oven that uses pure light to cook your food hotter, faster, and with incredible precision. With 3 independent cooking zones and powerful searing, Brava cooks meals 2 to 4 times faster than traditional ovens. No preheating, no guesswork. And now for a limited time, enter Chew on This at checkout and get $200 off your Brava oven. Brava, pure light, perfect food. Shop now at brava.com.
Join me, Mitch Gibbs, every Thursday at 4 p.m. live on WGSO Radio New Orleans, talking Saints football in our 16th season of In the Red Zone. We'll be live at Premier Nissan at 6636 Veterans Boulevard, where Metairie meets Kenner for another exciting season of Saints football live on WGSO Radio.
Hi, gang. This here's Uncle Jackie from Uncle Jackie's Gumbo. Heard here each and every Sunday live at 5 on WGSO 990 on the AM dial New Orleans and WGSO.com. Join us each week as we interview musicians, writers, actors, and artists. Everyone's welcome to Uncle Jackie's Gumbo, Sundays live at 5 on WGSO.com and WGSO 990 on the AM dial New Orleans. Uncle Jackie's Gumbo.
All right, New Orleans, welcome back to the Jack Clegg Show here on WGSO 990 AM, WGSO.com, and YouTube, the Jack Clegg Show. All right, Chris, so tell me, what's going on right now in California? Hit me the high and the low parts.
You mean with Newsom or just in general with
well,
all the ICE agents and all that?
That's more. I'm more concerned. To me, that's the low point, and let's talk about that. What we're hearing here in New Orleans and the rest of the country's hearing is that the authorities in California are doing everything they can to impede the ICE agents' efforts to round up and deport who they believe are unlawful aliens?
In the sanctuary cities like Los Angeles, yes.
Yes.
The rest of the cities, no.
Okay, now let me ask this. Isn't California a sanctuary state?
It is.
Yes. So,
Nobody asked me, by the way.
right. That's kind of interesting because right now I know they're fighting that redistricting issue and they want to put that redistricting on the ballot so the people will vote on something. But are you telling me that this great state, which asked the citizens to make all these decisions, never had on the ballot whether the state should be a sanctuary state?
No, not to my knowledge, no.
One would think that would be important.
You would think so, right?
Well,
I don't know. How is LA a sanctuary city? I don't think that's been on the ballot either. I don't live in LA.
Right. So what?
So I'm not sure.
What's your impression there? And this is an important question. Okay. All right. We get people that come from other countries here and they didn't get visas. They didn't get authority to come in the country. They didn't make a political asylum claim. They just moved to places where they could fill in the blank, where they could work, where they could live, where they could get benefits. What's the answer in California?
Well, you can get all that and then some. But the problem is our state's going bankrupt because of it. So,
well, yeah.
Nobody's talking about that. I don't know where they're going to get the money to make up the deficits they have just on our Medi-Cal.
Right. I remember hearing about that wonderful train they were going to have from Los Angeles to San Francisco, right? And it was going to be like a bullet train.
Yeah.
And nothing's been built, yet their $1 billion has disappeared.
I think $9 billion.
Wow.
And there's 400 feet of it.
400. I can hit my driver further than 400 feet.
Barely.
Barely. That's right. So, what do the people in Los Angeles and the people in California that you know, what do they say about that? How can they deal with that kind of stuff?
I don't know what anybody can do about it because we're so one-sided politically.
Oh, really? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I mean.
So they just give some excuse for it, and that's it.
They don't even give an excuse. They just, where's the $24 billion spent for homeless? Well, it's gone.
Yeah.
Well, is the problem any better? No, the problem's not any better. They
Well, I remember the mayor of New York City. This was the one, one mayor back. What was his name? I can't remember. But his wife.
Bloomberg.
After Bloomberg. Or maybe it was before Bloomberg. But the wife was really involved in it was another guy, big tall guy. I can't remember his name right offhand, but his wife was involved in helping out the homeless. And they did the same thing. Mm-hmm. Like $14 million was supposed to be used to do something. Something never occurred. The $14 million disappeared. I mean, that's kind of like the story of California as well. I know they've dedicated money. They dedicated money, but nothing gets done.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking. Most states don't have a $24 billion budget.
Right.
And we've wasted that on one thing that we've done nothing about.
Right. When they talk about, I got one final question I want to ask you. We talk about all the people that have vacated California and they've gone elsewhere. Were these the people who were more conservative?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
and they have not been. And who has replaced them in the state? According to the census, it ain't going to change because you've got a lot of undocumented citizens or undocumented non-citizens.
Right. Yeah.
So you're not going to lose any representation.
Well, when's the census? In 5 years, right?
Yeah. Well, the last one you had was 2020. And the big migration, they started leaving in 21, 22, 23, and 24.
A lot of people left during COVID because of the lockdowns.
And that started in 20.
People that could.
Yeah. All right. Chris.
People that saw the writing on the wall split.
Yes.
All right, leave me on hold, though, so I can listen to the show.
We will let you stay on hold. All right, buddy. Good talking to you. How's your golf game going?
Non-existent. I don't play anymore.
Oh, no.
Maybe next year. Yeah.
All righty. We'll talk later on. All right, folks. All right, we're going to talk now a little bit about, and tell Matthew who is on hold. We'll get to him in the next section. But I wanted to start to talk about this indictment, which I received. Okay. And there was a little blurb on the news a few minutes ago, and they talked about it. Okay. Just to make it abundantly clear, this is United States of America versus Jeffrey Paul Vappy II and LaToya Cantrell. Those are the two defendants. Now, Jeffrey Paul Vappy was a member of the New Orleans Police Department. There was a special group, a special unit called the EPU. That's what they were called. The Executive Protection Unit. How about that? That sounds pretty strong. He was in that, and he was assigned to Mayor Cantrell. Yes. Now, I won't read you the whole thing. It's 48 pages long. Here it is, folks. 48 pages. There it is. That sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. But what they've done here, okay, and it's really kind of funny. If you can get it, I understand NOLA.com is now in possession of it, and it will be, if you go to NOLA.com and print out Cantrell indictment text, TEXT, you'll be able to get your own copy and you can read it. And it's funny. It's sad and funny. When I say it's sad because how did people think that they were going to get away with this? I mean, this is just absolutely insane. Okay. Now we have known for 4 years now, 3 years now, since 21, that there was something going on between Cantrell and her EPU guy, Mr. Vappy. All right. Do I care? Not really. I mean, Clinton had his thing with the girl who was supposed to be a intern. Okay, well, it turned out she did a lot more than intern duties. And politicians, I mean, they're human. They've got that side. And look, having an affair while you're in office, they say that power is one of the greatest aphrodisiacs. So I can understand it. I got it. But here's the problem, and this is what they had to do here in the indictment. They had to show how this hurt people, and how did it hurt. And what the government has done, and it's laid out here pretty clear, is they've shown how these two city servants, the mayor and a person on the EPU, had their affair out of state, out of the country, to different places. She would find, it goes through here, any kind of convention she could attend, she did. along with Mr. Vappy, her protection. And we're going to get to some of the evidence that's actually in the indictment, like the communications between them. They used what's called WhatsApp. Do you know what WhatsApp is? WhatsApp is a communication. It's like a text messaging thing, but it keeps it kind of secret. Well, the government has it. They have their WhatsApp communications, and they cite them in here. What does Mr. Vappy call our mayor? Baby. She's called Baby. All right. We'll come back in a few moments with the Jack Clegg Show, and we're going to talk about the indictment.
The Bone-In Law Firm is a family-operated law firm located at 4224 Canal Street in the heart of Mid-City, effectively serving clients since its inception in 1983. Christian Bone-In and the Bone-In Law Firm practice in the areas of personal injury, including automobile accidents, wrongful death cases, and slip and fall, as well as criminal defense law. Call them today for an appointment at 504-586-0064 or email them today at admin@boneinlawfirm.com to receive your free consultation and evaluation of your case. Are you looking for the perfect personalized gift for your friends and loved ones? Then look no further than Crow and Crescent. Crow and Crescent provides customizable handmade gifts, tumbler cups, and much more. All items are handmade with care and can be gift wrapped with personalized messages. For more information, you can find us at crowandcrescent.com and on Instagram. Crow and Crescent, let us show you the right gift for any occasion.
Hi, this is Susan Berniker bringing you a new show, Health Connections, every Wednesday afternoon at 5 p.m. when we explore health from doctors, researchers, scientists, naturopaths, pharmacists, authors, fitness, and more. You'll be able to call in and ask your own health questions. So join me, Susan Berniker, every Wednesday at 5 p.m. right here on WGSO 990 AM with Health Connections.
Hey, folks, the Mike Church Show is moving back to mornings. Faster than you can say, LSU is CWS and Jello Shot World Champions. 6 to 7 a.m. on WGSO and CrusadeChannel.com.
Listen each weeknight from 7 to 9 p.m. with Louis R. Avalone and Stephen Parr here on WGSO 990 a.m.
Hey, Mimi, we love Wednesdays, but we're moving to a new time.
Listen to He Said, She Said, Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
As usual, we'll be discussing and debating the hot topics.
And taking your phone calls.
You can find out who's right. Of course, that's me.
No, wait, Jeff, I'm never wrong. Remember, happy wife, happy life.
So we'll have a lot to talk about on He Said, She Said.
Listen to the Crew of Crew Air, Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
Right here on WGSO.
It's pet trendologist Charlotte Reed. Listen to the latest pet trends with benefits on the Pet Buzz, airing every Saturday at 6 p.m. Join me as I talk all things pets, from animal health and wellness, money-saving tips, the newest pet products, celebrity pet gossip, breaking news, and more. Our expert guests are in the know and in the now. To learn more about our unique program, our guest, and me, your host, listen to the show on WGSO 990, the community voice of the Crescent City.
Hello, this is David Jeremiah. Join me each weekday morning at 4:30 or 5:30 a.m. for Turning Point on the community voice of the Crescent City, WGSO.
All right, New Orleans, welcome back to the Jack Clegg Show. And we're about to read from various excerpts from the incredible indictment of Mayor LaToya Cantrell and her personal bodyguard, who she didn't pay, but we did. The citizens of New Orleans paid for this guy to travel, to stay in hotels, when they stayed together when they were traveling, but they got two different hotel bills. And it's amazing. So I'm going to read just a few, just so you get a hint of it. Now, if you want to read it, as I said earlier, I believe NOLA.com is going to have, or they already have, the text of this so you can read it yourself. And I guarantee you're just going to shake your head. You know, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to read you a little bit of it. I'm also, as I said, I think last week, I'm in the hands of one of the greatest eye surgeons in the world, I hope. I'm having eye surgery next week because I'm almost blind in my left eye. Cataracts. I got them. I should have taken care of them a little earlier. Now, next week, I'm going to take care of it. I may be on the show next Friday with a pirate patch on my left eye. That'll be kind of cool. So I'm going to read the best that I can out of here, and that's why this is kind of close to my face. All right. Paragraph 3. In or around October 2021, Cantrell and Vapee developed a personal and intimate relationship. To hide their relationship from detection and to maximize their time together, Cantrell and Vapee exploited their public positions. That was, one is a mayor and the other's a policeman on this special duty, the Executive Protection Unit, the EPU. Okay? Maximize their time together, exploited their public positions to develop and implement its scheme to defraud the city of New Orleans and the New Orleans Police Department by engaging in personal activities while Vapee claimed to be on duty and was paid for providing protection for Cantrell. Paragraph 4. As part of their scheme, Cantrell and Vapee arranged for Vapee to accompany Cantrell when she traveled outside the state of Louisiana on official business. Cantrell falsely claimed she needed protection from members of the Executive Protection Unit while traveling due to safety concerns. Later on, the safety concern is because she was a black woman and she needed that extra protection. She had used that before, and we all know this, where most city and state and public employees travel in coach, okay, because taxpayers don't pay for these people to fly first class. If they want to fly first class and upgrade themselves, they certainly are welcome to do that, but the state pays for coach fare. Okay, except for her. Because she was a black woman, she thought her safety was at greater risk, so she charged the city and the state for her travel first class. Okay. All right. And this is, okay. Cantrell and Vapee orchestrated out-of-state trips to maximize their opportunities to engage in personal activities. In total, Vapee's trips with Cantrell cost the city of New Orleans over $70,000, separate from Cantrell's own travel expenses. So yeah, this guy's costs, just him, $70,000 to travel with her. And this goes through a number of those trips that they took, where she'd go there for an hour-long meeting. But they both had to travel together. And they both had to stay overnight. All right. Aware, this is paragraph 5, aware that conduct violating rules, policies, and criminal laws, Cantrell and Vapee attempted to distract and impede inquiries and investigations, including a federal grand jury investigation. There was one of Vapee about the true nature and circumstances of their relationship and their scheme to defraud. They did this by using an encrypted messaging platform. I mean, secret, right? Right. Intimidating and punishing subordinates, that is, anybody who knew about it and wouldn't keep their mouth shut got fired. Lying to colleagues and advisors. I don't think that's illegal, because don't all politicians do that, or most do anyway. Making false public pronouncements, okay. Well, that's not a crime. And private individuals, and two private individuals who took pictures of them in public together, deleting electronic evidence, making false statements to federal law enforcement officials. Now, that is illegal. Authorizing an affidavit signed under oath and penalty of perjury containing false information to be used at a grand jury investigation. Ooh, that's bad. Can't do that. And testifying falsely while under oath before a federal grand jury. Okay. That's bad. That's bad. Okay. Today, there was another article, if you're interested. This one, also by NOLA.com, did a good job. No, I'm sorry. This was by the AP. And they had a guy by the name of Bill Finn, I believe his name is, or Jim Finn, Finn is the last name. And Finn wrote a story about the timeline. This was before Finn had the affidavit. We knew there was an indictment, but we didn't know what it was until the actual indictment was released. Okay. And one of the things that's in there, and they go back to the connections between Cantrell and her supporters. And it goes back to one of the worst things that's happened in New Orleans. And boy, did this get covered up. Remember the Hard Rock Hotel? You remember that? The Hard Rock Hotel on Canal Place? The thing that crushed, workers were killed. Well, they thought that this was going to be part of it because a lot of the building inspectors were on the take. They pled guilty. They've gone to jail. No, it wasn't that. This particular indictment is limited to the affair between the two and the fact that taxpayers paid for it. Okay. We are now going to have to take another break. We get one more this hour, or do we go to the next hour? We go to the next hour. Matthew, I know you're holding. We'll get to you in the beginning of the next hour. This is a Jack Clegg show. We got a lot going on from 5 to 6.
The Bone-In Law Firm is a family-operated law firm located at 4224 Canal Street in the heart of Mid-City, effectively serving clients since its inception in 1983. Christian Bone-In and the Bone-In Law Firm practice in the areas of personal injury, including automobile accidents, wrongful death cases, and slip and fall, as well as criminal defense law. Call them today for an appointment at 504-586-0064 or email them today at admin@boneinlawfirm.com to receive your free consultation and evaluation of your case.
Hey, this is Kevin Love from the Cleveland Cavaliers. At times, life can feel scary, and we can get overwhelmed by anxiety. Mindfulness can help you get through these tough times. My nonprofit is partnering with Headspace to offer free content to help you stress less. It's as easy to do as this. Take a big, deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. In and out. Head to kevinlovefund.org/headspace and be kind to your mind.
Hey folks, it's Jeff Cruier. I've been with WGSO for 17 years as host and now president and general manager. WGSO is a community-based radio station, a nonprofit, locally operated. We believe in cultivating local talent and emphasizing local programs. If you have an interest in hosting your own program, then we have some prime spots available for you. Take advantage of this great offer. Email me at jeff@wgso.com or call me at 504-669-6076. Come fulfill your radio dreams at WGSO.
Hi, this is Kate Delaney from America Tonight. The show kicks on at midnight, and I'm loving the overwhelming support in New Orleans. What a group of fantastic listeners here on WGSO 990 AM. Join me every morning to catch up on what I call the buzz in your backyard and mine. You'll hear some of the most interesting people on the planet from the world of business, politics, sports, and, well, just intriguing people with a story to tell. If you're around, give us a call. Don't worry, I'll spit out the number plenty of times on the air. Let's agree to meet at midnight right here on WGSO 990 AM in New Orleans.
This is Douglas at the end of Everything Old is New Again. You're listening to WGSO 990 AM, the community voice.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump and Russia's Vladimir Putin have started their Alaska summit with a warm handshake on Friday. President Trump says he's seeking a ceasefire in the Russia-Ukraine war.
During an interview aboard Air Force One as he flew to Alaska, the president told Fox News that he'd like to walk away from the meeting with a ceasefire. He said he wouldn't be thrilled if he didn't get it. The president also said he'd like a second meeting on Russia's war in Ukraine.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. The discussions could reshape the war in Ukraine and relations between Moscow and Washington. The summit gives Trump a chance to prove he's a master deal maker and global peacemaker. A constitutional attorney says the fact the Justice Department is proceeding with a grand jury probe indicates it's moving forward with possible charges in the so-called Russiagate hoax used against Donald Trump. Bob Agnew reports.
Mark Weaver says instigating grand jury investigations is a big statement from the DOJ.
We are ready to show citizens evidence of crimes and see if they're willing to vote for an indictment. And the fact that it's happening in several different places suggests that there's a lot of evidence to show.
Weaver says it's still too soon to say whether the investigations will net any indictments.
But I do see forward motion, and that's heartening to me because I want to see justice done.
Weaver was interviewed by the Salem Radio Network. Bob Agnew reporting.
A federal grand jury has indicted New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell after a long corruption investigation. She was indicted on fraud, conspiracy, and obstruction charges into a probe into allegations that she tried to hide a romantic relationship with her bodyguard. On Wall Street, the Dow by 34 points. More at townhall.com.
Life can change so abruptly. Just ask Paul. He's a hardworking entrepreneur. He's young. He's got a young family. Suddenly, though, he develops a rare medical condition where he lost the use of both of his arms.
I could no longer drive a car, couldn't use a computer, couldn't type, couldn't use a mouse. I could not hold my son, who was about a month old.
Paul and his family were facing a mountain of medical bills, but they're so thankful that they're members of MediShare.
I think if someone asked me, like, hey, does MediShare really work? I'm living proof that it works. My 4 children are living proof that it works. My arms, which have been healed, are living proof that MediShare works. Just knowing the emotional peace of mind, knowing that our needs are going to be taken care of when we have some type of medical problem, that is such a huge blessing to us.
It could be a huge blessing to you, too. People save so much and love being part of MediShare. Call now, 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE, 844-41-BIBLE.
Here's the Wall Street Business Report.
Stocks edge back from their records, led by drops for technology companies. But Wall Street did close out with another winning week. The S&P 500 fell 0.3%, slipping below the record it set a day earlier. The Dow edged up 0.1%. The Nasdaq Composite fell 0.4%. United Health Group jumped after Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway said it bought nearly 5 million shares of the insurer in the spring, while Applied Materials slumped on worries about its business in China. Treasury yields rose following mixed reports on the U.S. economy. The Dow was up 34 points to close at 44,946. The Nasdaq lost 87 to 21,622. The S&P 500 dropped 18 to 8449. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm John Scott.
News and analysis at townhall.com.
We rounded out your Friday with any thunderstorms about, tapering off going into the evening. We may have 1 or 2 linger about, but generally fair sky to Park Victoria overnight. A slight chance of an overnight thunderstorm or shower. Slim chance for the morning. That'll go back up to about a 40% chance of scattered afternoon thunderstorms. thunderstorms. Once again, tomorrow we got the heat. Could be some slightly less humid conditions tomorrow and Sunday with that upper level high building across, but not so enough to dampen the thunderstorm chance. 30% going into Saturday night, about 40-50% for the afternoon Sunday. Each day middle 90s. Feels like temperatures into the lower 100s, if not hotter. Same story going into early next week with not much change, Monday and Tuesday. Active tropics with Erin becoming a major hurricane during the weekend and especially early next week. The disturbance, the southwest Gulf, is headed towards the lower Texas coast. No impacts to Louisiana from that. Ralph Sanji, WGSO.
The views and opinions expressed during this show are those of the host and guests only. In no way do they represent the views, positions, or opinions expressed or implied of WGSO 990 AM or North Shore Radio Incorporated.
All right, New Orleans. Welcome back to the Jack Clegg Show. This is the second hour. You were entertained the first hour by our roving reporter on the West Coast. Heard about what few things are going on in California. One of our all-time great callers has been patiently holding online. Before I go any further into the analysis of this affidavit, the indictment, let's hear from Matthew. Matthew, what do you have to say today?
Well, I mean, I'm mildly pleased that Latoya, the destroyer, is going to get her comeuppance, although the occasion for it, well, that's like most women can control themselves, but I guess Latoya can't.
Well, love is what love is, okay? And I'm not even going to go in that direction. But it is
Was
important.
It love or lust?
Well, either one, they're both. But here's where it crosses the line, and this one of the points I really want to make. Number one, it crosses the line when you take state money or city money.
Yes, when we pay for the romance.
Yes, that's bad. And in this indictment, I recommend you get a copy, go on NOLA.com, get a copy, and you'll be able to read it.
Does NOLA, is that behind their paywall?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure you have to pay for that or not.
Yeah, because I have a lot of trouble getting through their paywall. I've tried shoving $5 bills through there, and all that winds up happening is I wind up having to fix my phone.
Right.
Well,
anyway, my point, and then to your point, is this. Okay, we saw this with Nagin. Okay. I was not really in favor of the Nagin indictment. I was following it at that time, and I had questions about it. But the worst part about the Nagin indictment and the worst part about this is it's not what she did. Okay, you got bad actors all the time. I got it. You got bad actors doing bad things, and sometimes you don't know. And politicians can hide their true stripes. Okay, so you got it. But what really
politicians are actually interesting actors.
They are interesting. They're interesting, and when they
act like they care about the public,
they act like they care, and they may be so duplicitous that they do, but they don't care about their money. But here's the point I want to make. Here's the point. What does it say about the state of Louisiana and the parish of Orleans, which has its own elected district attorney? That district attorney isn't elected by them, or isn't appointed by the mayor. They run for elections. They're supposed to be independent. What does it say that they see the same stuff that the feds see? They could get cooperation from the feds, but they won't do it. They didn't do it against Nagin, and they're not doing it here. That's the worst thing, because that gives us all a bad rep.
Louisiana is apparently we believe, whether or not the citizens believe, but the government believes in a strong executive. And I would point out that both Landry and the previous governor, Del Edwards, are strong executives. Landry did some things that I consider to be questionable, and he threatened various senators with withholding money using the
Sure.
budgetary tool
Right.
of line item veto. And Edwards, I mean, we knew how he was. He was practically a king. Another thing about both the city of New Orleans, and this takes us back to Los Angeles. How many people showed up and voted in the election that
Not many.
put Karen Bass in office?
Not many.
Not many. Yeah,
similar
you're correct.
similar to LaToya's last successful election as mayor of New Orleans.
Actually, even the election before that,
Yeah.
the turnout was astonishingly low.
Right.
And so
And
it's easy to see how these people keep winning if people aren't showing up to vote. Then you have to ask yourself a question. Why?
Well, I think there's this. Okay. And let's be as honest as we can. The number of Caucasian New Orleanians that voted was not many.
Mm-hmm.
Not many. And there was not a, no matter how you look at it, okay, if you grow up in an Italian neighborhood and you grow up with Italians, they become your friends for the rest of your life. You grow up in an African American community and they're your neighbors, they're the friends for the rest of your life. And that's the way life is. That's the way humans act and interact with people that are like us. Okay, so when you've got a city that's split this way, okay, you get African Americans all going to public schools, you get white people going to private schools, you create this discord, which has happened in New Orleans since I was here in 1978 when I showed up, and I was shocked at that's the way New Orleans is. That is the way it is. That's the way it had been since they desegregated schools. Okay? So we have that in our community. But that doesn't excuse what's the excuse for the Orleans Parish District Attorney to let this happen right under his own nose?
Well, possibly because he was afraid of getting the DA's office budget cut. Because he's an interesting case. So, Jack, I'm going to have to call you back.
Okay, that's fine. And thanks for calling. And we have
Even
another.
though I know your name is not Bat.
It's Batman. All right. Thanks for calling. We'll wait for you. And we have Dotsy online. Let's talk to Dotsy briefly. Dotsy, how are you?
Hey, Jack. I wanted to tell y'all, they can't do anything. I almost broke my finger texting the senators before they left. The Jefferson Parish crooks and the Baton Rouge crooks are trying to put a ringer in as U.S. attorney. Anybody who likes what Simpson is doing now needs to call the White House, email the White House, and say, please keep Simpson as our U.S. attorney. He's doing a great job. We got a new head of the FBI who's very good. I think they did a great job on this. We need to, just what you said about why isn't the DA in Orleans? Oh, I'll tell you about that, because both he and LaToya were taking money when they were on the council. They were taking money from the people who wanted to tear down the Woolworths, which ended up being the collapsed Hard Rock. They both took huge money. I think it was up in the range of $89,000 apiece.
Well,
that's why he didn't prosecute her, because she'll rat him out on that.
Well, and I can't agree more. I can't agree more with your comment. We have to get past that. We have to get to the point where our district attorney is not impotent.
Well, but Jack, I was going to tell you that I hammered the DA in Jefferson when the Calagero was caught trafficking a 14-year-old for 2 years. I talked to everybody. Why aren't you doing something? We need to know who this child was sold to. I'm telling you, know who did it? Polly, Polly, whatever her name is. She ran interference for all of them. Man, they had me going all over the DA's office. They never let me talk to Connick. I talked to everybody. Everybody had an excuse for why the Jefferson DA was not doing anything against Calagero. Then Polite, it was a miracle Polite prosecuted him in the first place, but then he was cooperating and they buried him for 10 years in a federal prison because, as I told you, and I won't say the names, the main human trafficker in the South is a politician.
All right.
A
And
JP politician.
we're going to get to that in a minute. Thanks for the call. And we're actually going to get to what our Attorney General has done to fight pedophiles. All right.
But
Thanks for calling in. We'll get to you later. Thanks for calling in. All right, folks, we're going to take a break. This is the Jack Clegg Show. We'll be back in a moment.
Big Easy Pet Shop and Rescue is a nonprofit volunteer-run rescue. We provide adoption services and care for homeless animals across the New Orleans metro area. We also offer pet supplies and grooming services at our downtown and Marigny locations. The shops are located at 839 Spain Street and 513 Dumaine Street and are open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. weekdays and noon to 6 on Saturdays, noon to 5 on Sundays. We can be found on the web at BigEasyPetShop.com. Support local animals in need by shopping and adopting with Big Easy Animal Rescue.
Feel the passion.
You have to turn the energy back up on another level.
On game day.
He's got it and he breaks a tackle.
We're all raging Cajuns.
Intercepted. 15-10, 5, touchdown, Louisiana.
Join us Saturday, August 30th. Louisiana kicks off its season against Rice. Our coverage begins at 6 on your home for Louisiana football.
Only on the community voice of the Crescent City. WGSO 990 AM.
Hey, Mimi, we love Wednesdays, but we're moving to a new time.
Listen to He Said, She Said, Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
Right here on WGSO.
Hi, gang. This here's Uncle Jackie from Uncle Jackie's Gumbo. Heard here each and every Sunday live at 5 on WGSO 990 on the AM dial New Orleans and WGSO.com. Join us each week as we interview musicians, writers, actors, and artists. Everyone's welcome to Uncle Jackie's Gumbo. Sundays live at 5 on WGSO.com and WGSO 990 on the AM down New Orleans. Uncle Jackie's Gumbo. FBI, open up!
Just because you legally possess a gun in the sanctity of your locked home doesn't mean that we're not going to walk into that home and check to see if you're being responsible.
Tyranny in the USA.
We warned about this years ago.
I'm Tom Coates.
I'm Michelle Godin.
We're
Baldy and the Blonde. Wednesdays at 4 on WGSO. Follow us on X at Baldy Blonde.
That's not America.
Hey, this is BJ Russ. Make sure you join me every Saturday night for the Something to Say radio show right here on WGSO 990 AM. We'll be on from 7 to 8 p.m. We'll talk sports, music, movies, and pretty much anything in between. Saturday nights at 7 p.m. on WGSO 990 AM. That's the place to be. And don't forget that you can listen to us on WGSO.com and on the Mixler app.
Hi, this is Rusty, owner of the Olive Branch Cafe. Join me on Tuesdays at 4 for the Best Bank Hour on WGSO 990.
Don't miss Chew on This with John Clement and Patty B. 1 p.m. Saturdays on WGSO 990 AM and WGSO.com. New time, same great flavor.
All right, New Orleans, welcome back to the Jack Clegg Show on WGSO 990 AM, WGSO.com, and YouTube. You type in the Jack Clegg Show, and there he is. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the affair between Vappy and Mayor Cantrell, which Mayor Cantrell and Vappy have both said did not exist. Okay. Now, I want to tell you, we have a copy of the indictment. There was a grand jury hearing testimony from witnesses, so forth and so on. Okay, just so you know, the prosecution brings this before the grand jury, and the defendants, they don't really put on a case. So you've heard a grand jury would indict a ham sandwich. That's one of the lines, because there's really no defense. So the fact that somebody's been indicted is, you've only heard one side of the story. And that's the way our system is for indictments. That's just the way it is. Okay. So what happens with an indictment? Well, what often happens is the prosecution, because the document is going to be shown to jurors. The grand jurors are not the jurors for the trial. Separate, completely separate. Okay. And they will often, but now because I've got this and other people can get it, it being the indictment, okay, they will put plants in here, things that they want the defense to really get after, which means they have much more evidence. So when you're reading an indictment and there's something on there that looks kind of bad, it's much worse, but you're not seeing the much worse. Okay, it's just a beginning. Now, how it happened, I don't know, because I don't know about WhatsApp. WhatsApp is supposed to be private, but you can subpoena them, and apparently they did, and they've got all the WhatsApp. So in the indictment, acting U.S. Attorney Simpson has apparently approved the use of what they're going to do a trial. And they've got the WhatsApp actual messages between them. Okay, this one is from March 7th, 2022. Cantrell and Vappy exchanged the following message. Okay, Cantrell. San Francisco is April 6th to 8th. It officially ends at 4 p.m. on the 8th. Do we return on the 8th and stay at my apartment, or return on the 9th? Vappy, absolutely. Cantrell, absolutely on what? Oh, Vappy, on going to the apartment after the trip. Vappy, I'm sorry, I was confused. Vappy, we stay and do the Napa Valley thing like you said. Cantrell, perfect. Quote, thumbs up emoji. That there was an emoji in it, and I guess they didn't put that here. And Vappy responds, thumbs up emoji. On or about March 22nd, Cantrell appointed Vappy to the Hanno Board of Commissioners. That was absolutely great. All right. So he does that. He becomes a board of the commissioners, this guy who was the bodyguard. All right. There's another one here. I want to read you this one. There's one more excerpt. All right. Cantrell. So I will have to go to D.C. on Monday. Vappy. I know. Cantrell. I want to leave on Sunday. Will you be going? Vappy. Absolutely, if it's possible. Vappy. He names a person who works at mayor's office. The name is out. It's not disclosed. This person didn't, or rather hasn't, said anything yet. Cantrell. Okay. Cantrell. I will make it happen. Vappy. Definitely. Great. Cantrell. Okay. Cantrell. Smiley face emoji. Cantrell. I want to leave Sunday and back on Tuesday. Vappy. Okay. All right. Then she says, we're both going, aren't we? Yes. Good. I got it. We need this. Cantrell. Boy, we do need this. All right. We've all been around people in love. We all know how they talk to each other. Okay, this is it. But remember, this is not the meat of it. The meat of it is going to be shown to a jury. These two and their lawyers are going to deny having an affair. They're going to deny that all this money was spent so they could spend time together out of town. They're going to deny it. So if you know in this indictment, they've already got stuff showing the dreamy eyes at each other and the lovey-dovey talk, you know what they have and they haven't shown is great. All right. So all of us here in New Orleans, again, the bigger point here is we want New Orleans to be a better place. Okay. Are we the only major city that has problems with its mayor? No. I mean, look at Los Angeles. Look at other towns. They've all got problems. Look at Chicago. I mean, this happens. Okay. But when they take our money, that's different. And whether this, I will tell you now, I think it's probably about a 95% certainty she's going to get jail time. And so will Vapi. All right. Now, I also think that if U.S. Attorney Simpson, acting U.S. Attorney Simpson and his team is smart, they've already got an almost near deal with Vapi. All they have to have is one of them to say they had an affair, and the other one's going to jail. The one who said they had an affair has made a deal, and they probably won't go to jail, but the other one will. That's how these things work out, okay? The prosecution has that authority. They have that power, and there's much more to come here. But right now, they made the decision now. They're going to try her. I mean, obviously, this is the indictment. They won't get a trial date until she's out of office. She's going to be gone. She's term limited, I think in January or February. Okay. I doubt they'll get a trial, but maybe they will. Maybe they will. I don't know what's going to happen, and that's the scheduling issues and the fights on motions beforehand. There's going to be a lot of work that precedes this trial. But when I read this and I see what they're already showing their cards, man, it's going to be entertaining, nevertheless. Okay, we got to take a break. We'll be back in a minute. We're going to talk about a few different issues. One, the lawsuit against the pedophiles. Back in a moment.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, do you ever wonder who really listens to talk radio? Or even, who is this new Lisa and why are we going live with her? And what does it mean to be unscripted? Hey guys, my name is Lisa Leonardi and I am the new talk show host of Live with Lisa Unscripted. My show is about living our unique NOLA life with a touch of inappropriateness and a ton of side-splitting laughs to get you home every Monday at 4 p.m. here on WGSO 990 AM.
Join me, Mitch Gibbs, in our 11th season as host of Breakfast with the Bayou Bengals every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 live at Mahoney's Po' Boys in New Orleans.
Get up early on Saturdays and talk LSU athletics with us. Tiger Rag Radio every Saturday morning, 5 to 7 on WGSO, the community voice of the Crescent
Chef
City.
Jamie Gwen here. Tune in for delicious conversation and let me feed your soul every Sunday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. right here on WGSO 990 AM, the community voice of the Crescent City.
Don't get stuck in boring talk radio. Give it a much-needed splash of laughs and a little Southern Louisiana flavor with Implicit Bias Radio. I'm Kevon Bordelon. Join the crew and I each Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. as we give our thoughts on what's going down around the country. We'll crack open a fresh bottle of whiskey each week as we talk about what's swirling around in our heads and in the glasses. The Implicit Bias Radio Show, every Saturday morning, 7 to 9 a.m. on WGSO 990 AM.
Social Security is with you through life's journey from birth to retirement. As your life changes year to year, so do your needs. For over 80 years, Social Security has helped to meet your needs and is committed to improving access to the services that make a difference in your life. Today, you can verify your earnings, estimate your future benefits.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Colleen Crane. New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell has been indicted on federal corruption charges as prosecutors allege she defrauded taxpayers out of $70,000 to conceal a personal relationship with former NOPD officer Jeffrey Vappy, who served as her bodyguard. Acting U.S. Attorney Michael Simpson.
They are charged with a series of fraud, obstruction of justice, and false statement offenses for their role in a nearly 3-year fraud scheme that we allege exploited their public authority and positions.
Cantrell is the first sitting New Orleans mayor to face federal charges. A Gallup poll finds 54% of Americans drink alcohol, a record low percentage. LSU Health New Orleans physiology professor Nick Gilpin says more Americans are understanding the potential health hazards of alcohol consumption. He says adults are also finding other alternatives to alcohol.
There's a phenomenon called California sober, which you may be aware of, which is individuals that choose to use cannabis but not alcohol.
LRN.
Tiger fans, are you looking for the latest news on all things LSU? Then Tiger Rag Magazine is your go-to source. Whether you pick up the magazine or browse over to the website, Tiger Rag Magazine provides you with the most up-to-date information on all the sports, university, and recruiting news that matters to you. Find it at your local newsstand or online at tigerrag.com. Here we go. Let's face it, we all know that the recruiting scene at LSU can get a little wild. Don't fret. Now more than ever, Tiger Rag Magazine is staying ahead of the game when it comes to name, image, likeness regulations. Thanks to our Tiger Rag Magazine experts and analysts, we can help you understand what it means to LSU and how you can stay informed on this rapidly changing landscape. Plus, our website makes it easy for fans to get their hands on all the information they need about LSU athletics. Get your subscriptions today. So if you're looking for in-depth coverage of everything LSU, look no further than Tiger Rag Magazine. Available on newsstands or online, tigerrag.com.
Are you looking for the perfect personalized gift for your friends and loved ones? Then look no further than Crow and Crescent. Crow and Crescent provides customizable handmade gifts, tumbler cups, and much more. All items are handmade with care and can be gift wrapped with personalized messages. For more information, you can find us at crowandcrescent.com and on Instagram. Crow and Crescent, let us show you the right gift for any occasion. The Bone-In Law Firm is a family-operated law firm located at 4224 Canal Street in the heart of Mid-City, effectively serving clients since its inception in 1983. Christian Bone-In and the Bone-In Law Firm practice in the areas of personal injury, including automobile accidents, wrongful death cases, and slip and fall, as well as criminal defense law. Call them today for an appointment at 504-586-0064 or email them today at admin@boneinlawfirm.com to receive your free consultation and evaluation of your case.
Hey folks, the Mike Church Show is moving back to mornings. Faster than you can say, LSU is CWS and Jello Shot World Champions. 6 to 7 a.m. on WGSO and CrusadeChannel.com.
Listen each weeknight from 7 to 9 p.m. with Louis R. Avalone and Stephen Parr here on WGSO 990 a.m.
Tired of placing multiple calls to multiple vendors and getting the runaround? Turn to one resource who can get it done. Sir Speedy. We provide a wide spectrum of print, signs, and marketing services, all backed by more than 5 decades of experience. So when you need that new brochure, direct marketing campaign, or signage to promote your brand, give us a call at 504-586-9812 or visit us online at sirspeedyneworleans.com. Everything you need, one resource, Sir Speedy.
I'm pet trendologist Charlotte Reed. Listen to the Pet Buzz airing every Saturday at 6 p.m. on WGSO 990 AM, the community voice of the Crescent City.
All right, New Orleans. This is the Jack Clegg Show. This is Jack Clegg. You're listening to WGSO.com, WGSO 990 AM, and if you're watching YouTube, the Jack Clegg Show. Okay. All right. This story, a little bit of background for it. If you think AI is a good thing, okay, wait and see what happens. All right. I'm now firmly convinced that before, and actually I'm preparing myself for a loss here, because no matter how much I advocate that we need to know more about it before we expand it to the citizenry. Okay, I've lost. The citizenry is going to have it well before we know what it can do. All right. What does that mean? Okay, let's look at what the internet has brought to us. Well, the first thing it brought to most people was pornography. Okay. How was pornography? What did we do before we had the internet? Well, I'll tell you, it was, because I was growing up at that time. And as a young guy, you always want to see pictures of naked girls. I mean, that's what it was. Okay. Okay. There were magazines. You bought magazines. Penthouse, Playboy. And when I say you bought them, you didn't buy them. But somebody that was older than you and had them. They had a stash of them, and you'd go find them, and your friends would have them. And you'd look and, oh my gosh, look at this, look at this, look at this. Okay. So it was an entire array of magazines, Hustler, the Playboy, the Penthouse. So they were there, okay? And that was it. And they had Playgirl. They had naked boys, so girls could look. I don't think they were very popular, but they were out there. All right. So that went on. Okay, then we had a situation where you had movies, private movies that were eventually sold as videos. People put them in their video, and they had them. Okay, that was another way to get them. Then the internet explosion, where you could go online, and if you could type in the word Pornhub, that letter, you could watch pornography. Anybody. And you could be 14 years old, 12 years, nobody knew. You were just on there. And this exploded the internet. Okay, more and more sponsors, more and more commercials, more and more people were spending money, and the quality of the stuff was better than it was one year after the next. It was happening. Okay. Now, I mean, fortunately, some states like Louisiana, we have fought back. In order to get on that website, you have to be able to prove you're 18 years or older. Okay, so, I mean, they're doing as much as they can to kind of curb it, but it's almost like, as they say, the horse is out of the barn. It's already there. Okay. Now, I'm going to talk about Liz Morell. Liz Morell is our Attorney General. Okay, and what has she done? Okay, this is kind of sick, but it's important to know there's somebody fighting for us. All right. She filed a lawsuit, criminal lawsuit, a civil lawsuit for damages against an entity called Roblox, Roblox. What is Roblox? Well, it's an online gaming platform and game creation platform. What kind of game? Well, these are video games, okay? And they have animated things and so forth. People can make games. That's what they say. It says you can share, create, and play games with others. It doesn't say others, with millions of people. I'm reading from their ad, okay? And it's very popular. A lot of people like it. Okay. Now, why did Liz Morell, and why does Liz Morell see it differently? Okay. Quote, this is from the lawsuit that she filed against Roblox on behalf of the state of Louisiana. It facilitates the distribution of child sexual abuse material and exploitation of Louisiana children. Whoa. How'd they get to that? Well, an independent report she cites found 3,334 members of Roblox. You become a member, and then you can play the games and whatnot, and you can communicate with the other members. Okay? That 3,334 members of Roblox sharing and trading child pornography with the other members and soliciting sexual acts from minors. And I'm like, I read them. So what? How do they do that? What do they do? Okay. So the story and the lawsuit cites what happened. In Livingston Parish, Louisiana, which is a normal, rural kind of area, okay? You'd think most of the people, decent people, whatever. They found out that the police were investigating a child pornography ring, right? They recently made an arrest of a suspect in possession of child sexual abuse material, okay? During the arrest, the suspect had an AI voice-changing device. Did you know these things existed? They do. He had a voice-changing device, this guy, a middle-aged guy, and his voice became a, quote, young girl, allegedly, it says, this is part of the lawsuit, for the purpose of luring minors to send explicit sexual pictures to Roblox and its members. And I'm thinking, what is going on here? Well, we don't know, because when I say we, I'm talking about people who don't live on Roblox. We don't know this stuff. Most adults that are working and don't spend the time don't really know. Now, they may play the games every once in a while, but they're not deep into it. Children are. It's for children. I saw some of the pictures. I mean, it's got, designs of children doing and interacting with one another. Who would have thought? But then when you think about it, this is the kind of audience pedophiles want. Kids who don't know better. And the entire thing is maddening. It makes me angry. It makes me also grateful that we have some people like A.G. Morrell that are representing us, that will go out there and stop this and try to stop this. So on that point, and I don't really want to talk about this in greater detail. I mean, I think I've hit it as much as you can. You know what's going on. We need to support our officials that do things like this. This is a good thing to do, and everything they can. So if you go online, you go read your newspaper, see what you can read about Roblox and whether or not. Now, what are they trying to do? What are they trying to accomplish? They want Roblox to take control of their platform so this won't happen. I don't think that's asking a lot. I don't think that's asking a lot at all. Okay, control. Let's talk about control. This is we're going to change from child pornography to retirement as adults. All right. This is something I've looked at last couple of days. Actually, last couple of weeks I've been looking at this, and it started out with a Doge dispute that was going on. Okay. Let me give you a little primer on Social Security, particularly because my producer here is a young man. When you get paid your employer rather, takes certain deductions from you. They take taxes out, and they take out something called FICA. Who do we got? Okay. FICA, which is Social Security. Okay. And the Social Security Administration, which is a part of the Department of Treasury, holds that money. Okay. Now, over time, various political entities have robbed money from Social Security. And if you watch commercials today, you see various entities saying Social Security is going to disappear in 2034. It won't be the same. You should take your money and buy gold. You should take your money and invest it in this or this or this, because Social Security is going to be gold. It's going to be bankrupt. We hear it all the time. We've been hearing it all the time. So I was interested. What are they talking about? What is all this about? Okay. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with the last section, and I'm going to go through what I have found and raise the question of how many dead people are getting Social Security benefits. We'll be back in a minute with the Jack Clegg Show. See you in a moment.
Tired of waiting for dinner? Meet Brava, the revolutionary countertop oven that uses pure light to cook your food hotter, faster, and with incredible precision. With 3 independent cooking zones and powerful searing, Brava cooks meals 2 to 4 times faster than traditional ovens. No preheating, no guesswork. And now for a limited time, enter Chew on This at checkout and get $200 off your Brava oven. Brava, pure light, perfect food. Shop now at brava.com.
NOLA Funk Fest returns October 17th through 19th at Spanish Plaza. And this year's lineup is stacked. Master P with the Soul Rebels, Dumpsta Funk plays Sly, Funky Meters 2.0, and a 50-year celebration of the Wild Chapatulas are just a few of the highlights. Tickets are on sale now, including single-day passes and Louisiana Locals discounts. Don't miss Louisiana's biggest fall music festival, NOLA Funk Fest. Visit nolafunkfest.com.
Batteries to power. Now, everything old is new again. America's entertainment pop culture talk show.
If you relate to these clips playing in the background, there you go. You will enjoy Everything Old is New Again right here on WGSO. Hi, this is Douglas Viviani of Everything Old is New Again. Join us for the fun every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on WGSO.
Make my day. Hey, Mimi, we love Wednesdays, but we're moving to a new time.
Listen to He Said, She Said, Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
As usual, we'll be discussing and debating the hot topics.
And taking your phone calls.
You can find out who's right. Of course, that's me.
No, wait, Jeff, I'm never wrong. Remember, happy wife, happy life.
So we'll have a lot to talk about on He Said, She Said.
Listen to the Crew of Crew Air Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
Right here on WGSO.
Join me, Mitch Gibbs, every Thursday at 4 p.m. live at Premier Nissan at 6636 Veterans Boulevard, where Metairie meets Kenner for our 16th season in the Reds.
Hi, everybody. This is Jackie Gumbo. I'm inviting you to join me every Sunday at 5 p.m. for Uncle Jackie's Gumbo, heard only on WGSO 990 AM or WGSO.com.
Hello, this is David Jeremiah. Join me each weekday morning at 4:30 or 5:30 a.m. for Turning Point on the community voice of the Crescent City WGSO.
Join me, BJ Rust, every Saturday night for the Something to Say radio show on WGSO 990 AM and streaming live on WGSO.com.
Hey, fellow patriots, I'm John.
And I'm Mike.
We're the Jambalaya Boys from the Holy and Patriotic Jambalaya Show.
Join us Saturday afternoons from 1 to 2 p.m. on WGSO 990 AM and WGSO.com.
Join me, Mitch Gibbs, in our 11th season as host of Breakfast with the Bayou Bengals every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 live at Mahoney's Po' Boys in New Orleans.
All right, New Orleans. Welcome back to the last inning, the 8th inning of the Jack Clegg Show. This is the final topic we're talking about is Social Security, and here's the issue. Back in January, February, Doge was doing its deep dive, and at one point there was a comment made, and Musk made it, and Trump repeated it, saying that there were millions and millions and millions of people over the age of 120 who were on the Social Security rolls. Okay. Now, immediately, and you know how Trump is, he'll say things, and the first time he'll say it, it's sometimes not accurate. But I know the point he's trying to make. And we should know and give the guy the credit that he's looking at where is our money going. But I think they overstated. So I did the research, and I found out that, okay, first, this is the history. Initially, when you retired, you got benefits. You paid FICA all those years. When you retired, you got your benefits in a monthly check. It was sent to your house. You got it. You signed it, put it in your bank, went to Vinny, the liquor store, signed it, and he gave you the money. Whatever you did, you signed a check, and that was it. It's not that way anymore. Beginning with the Obama administration in 2010, 11, and 12, they changed the means by which you got your money. You had to have an account at a bank. Huh? Yes. And it was direct deposit from the SSA, Social Security Administration, right to your bank to this. So the money came to your bank. Okay. That's pretty quick. That's technology. That's quick. That's quicker than waiting on the check. It's quicker than maybe your check gets stolen from your mailbox. Who knows? Okay. So it's kind of quick. The problem here is the question I ask people that I've talked about. When does that end? When do you, as a recipient, stop getting checks? It's easy. When you die. When you die. Okay. It's not heritable. You can't have in your will, well, I bequeath to my son, Jack, my Social Security benefits. Because when you die, they're gone. You don't keep getting them. Unless nobody knows you die. No one knows that you've died. That's where the 90,000 people that are over 120 years old are still receiving, as of January 2020, no, I'm sorry, as of December 2024, there were 90,000 recipients over 120 years old. How'd that happen? Real simple. When the money goes to the bank, okay, it's in an account. What kind of an account? A savings account? Nah, I wouldn't go in a savings account, because how would you get access to it to use it? Most people that get it need that kind of money. Okay, so it goes into a checking account. What happens with a checking account? Years and years and years and years ago, when banks wanted to motivate you to get a checking account, they would take the money you're not spending, invest it, and give you some of it. You get some percentage interest. Not anymore. Not anymore. The bank uses your money. They loan it to people. They invest it. They do whatever they want. And they benefit by that. You don't get a share of it. They do. Okay. Now, if you take the money, they've got other money and other sources. They put it in your account, so you never are without the money. But the issue is they are benefiting by having your money in your checking account. All right. So here's the question. Who is supposed to find out when you die? Okay, you're getting $1,000 a month. Okay, keeps going and keeps going. You die. Somebody decides, I'd like to keep getting that money. How do you do it? Well, you have a debit card. Okay? When you use your debit card, do you have to sign anything? No. You just stamp it. If you have an online account at a bank, and you have, like several banks I'm aware of, have a process or a company called Zelle, or there's others where you can say, pay this amount online. You don't have to show up. They don't see you. You don't have to sign a document, and you can send your rent money to your landlord. There's other ways of doing it where you don't even have to show up. Well, when you have a system like that, what happens? If you find out that people don't actually have to be there for the money keeps coming. Who is it that tells, and who do you tell that the recipient has died? If you don't say anything, what happens? The money keeps coming. It keeps coming every month. As long as you don't spend it all, because you may have an account that it's in that requires $500 or $150, whatever it happens to be, has to be in the account. So you make sure you don't have that. So I had a question. I had a question to the Social Security Administration, and I called this afternoon. And oh my God, to try to get through to a human, is almost impossible. But when I finally got to the point where I was going to be talking to one of their agents of the Social Security Administration, had to give them my Social Security number, had to give them my date of birth, had to give them all kinds of information so they knew who they're talking to. And I finally got on. It was about 2 o'clock this afternoon. And I wanted to ask a simple question. When you send money to a bank, okay, who is it that tells you that the recipient has died? Now, does the bank have an interest in telling you or telling the Social Security? No, they don't, because they don't receive the money. And if they don't receive the money, they can't use that money. I'm not saying they all use all the money, but they do use the money. Okay, so what do they do? That was my question. Social Security Administration, do you rely on the bank, the local bank, where that money's being sent? Do you rely on them to tell you that the person has died? And how does the bank do that? I mean, they could do it easy. They could do a wellness check. They could call you. They have your phone number. They have your online stuff. Nobody gets anything in the mail anymore from the bank. They do it all online. And they could say, please contact us. We would like to know if you're still alive. But they don't do that either. So think about that as you're deciding what to do with your money. Should you immediately, every month, get that money out of there and give it to an investor? If you have enough money, maybe that's the thing to do. Okay. The Jack Clegg Show signing off. We'll talk to you next week when it's done. All right.
To protect his home and family from disaster, Steve used courage, wisdom, and his camera phone. That should